Well, we have one faithful allegiance. Our dear Patty is here with us. But Carol and Patty and Glendora, we all have each other. Sandy is in New Jersey with her son, David.
I think David was free today and he wanted to see his grandparents, so.
Apparently
yes,
that's-
you mentioned that Thursday.
Yeah, she mentioned that she might go with him if he wanted to go. So.
And Maddie has a doggie who is sick, and she's gone to the veterinarians. I don't know why we don't hear from Joyce, who wears the shirt that I came for the food.
That's right.
The only thing I can think of, we were in the bathroom dealing with that, maybe she called and Gina called.
Well, I can.
Oh, Gina called? Gina was supposed to be here too?
Yeah,
Hey,
she fell and hurt her knee.
Oh dear. So she's
hey,
so-
Google, call Joyce.
Yeah.
Hey, Google, call Baum.
Is that Don Goring, Joyce Baum, or Dr. Foyt Ears? Don.
Joyce Baum.
Calling Joyce Baum.
Thank you, Google. Google, would you like some lovely baked beans and brown bread?
That does not compute.
You can bring anybody you want. We have Carol's son. He will be having some later tomorrow.
How does Glendora want
What does she need? So you just put that on the plate from here, put it on a plate.
Well, that's what I figured, and then,
There's not room over there, I don't think.
yeah, unless we, yeah.
Well, Pat, we did everything we were supposed to do.
Okay, that's good. It's
I'm counting you into that.
It's definitely chilly outside.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
It wasn't even
There's
50 yet when I drove.
there's another point we lost on.
The sun's nice, but air is very cool.
Yeah, it is. Glendora, are you gonna eat off a plate or a bowl?
I would rather have a bowl, Carol, because all the food slips off the plate.
All right.
I imagine Sandy will be back tomorrow. Did she?
Yeah, and she'll be here tomorrow, too.
Yeah, she'll be here tomorrow.
She has to do report cards again, hon.
Oh.
Report card time, she said.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I was wishing that our dear Richard could come.
Richard is working with Cliff.
Yes, and Ben is helping him.
Oh, Ben is coming. Ben is working in Catskill today, and as soon as he's
Thank you.
finished with the job, he's coming to our house. So
Yeah.
he expects to get there around 2:33.
Yes.
Like that.
Pat, are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Is it too crowded?
Crowded? No.
Too many people?
Not yet.
We have enough for 30 people. I'm putting the beans in a separate bowl.
Tracy might have to work today. I don't know what's going on at the library. I haven't seen her in a while.
She's probably too busy getting ready for the
False alarm.
Yeah, did you hear about did they tell you about the pie sale problem?
No, please tell me.
They don't, the person who, what is her name? Christy, from Christie's Barn.
pies. Oh, yeah, never.
That's who provides the pies. And they are having a hard time getting pies. So the suggestion is that the library get the pies now, rather than just order the pies and see what comes in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure out how many people have freezers that can,
Oh,
and how many pies do they buy? You know, they
Yeah.
have to sort of estimate, like probably
yeah.
going by the previous year, how many people.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
So-
want, excuse me. Do you want to eat your beans with a fork or a spoon?
Well, I'll take this right here, hon.
Okay.
Thank you.
And here, I'll put the beans to the right of you. Salad
Okay.
to the left.
Let me know when you start, because that's when I'll start.
Okay.
Oops.
Where do you want your brown bread?
In the bowl.
In the bowl with the beans?
Yeah, and with the butter on it.
Oh, butter.
Butter is right here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I think the knives are in here. Oh, here's one right here.
Oh, good. Not use a crummy knife.
Yeah, they would get crummy.
Yeah, it makes it look the butter. You look at the butter and you say, is that crumb or mold?
Now, Glendora, what do you want with your hot dog?
Plain?
Okay. No mustard, ketchup, or relish?
No, honey.
Okay. Do you want it cut into
No,
you want
thank you.
So here's the brown bread,
Oh, goody.
and with the beans, or
Yeah,
okay, it's right here.
okay. Thank
It's
you.
got butter on the top.
Good.
Okay, and here's your fried hot dog.
Oh, thank you,
What are you
everybody.
going to use to eat? Are you going to use your fingers? Or are you going to use a fork?
Fork.
Okay, the fork is in the dish with the hot dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as you start eating, I will.
Oh. Okay. Oops, sorry. You want a bowl or a plate?
A
or?
plate is fine. Right here, you want to use one of these?
Yeah, tell me. That's what I'm going to use. I wasn't sure if everybody wanted a bowl.
Oh, this is fine.
Ketchup, mustard, relish?
Mustard, please.
Me too.
Thank you, Pat, for being the only one who can.
Thank you for lunch.
Well, what do we have to drink? Would you like some grape juice, apple juice, cran apple juice, prune juice,
I don't
milk?
want anything to drink. I
Okay.
just had a cup of tea, so I'm not thirsty.
Oh, those beans are great.
How did you get this to be? Oh, it was red cabbage.
Red cabbage mix.
I said, how did you get it to be such a nice shade of lavender?
And I think when I put the vegan mayonnaise in,
Uh-huh.
Have you started?
Not quite.
when
We're
you
getting there.
put the vegan mayonnaise in, it made it real liquidy.
Oh.
So I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. Thank you. I got a piece of bread.
I'll move over here.
Yeah, when we got up, it was like 38, 39 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
We were like, I don't think it's going to be good outside.
No frost, but close.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold for the next few days.
Is that right?
I think so.
Have you started?
Nope, we're waiting for Carol still,
Dishing out my beans.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Here I come.
Okay, Glendora.
Okay.
Is the dog that Maddie is taking care of a very elderly dog?
I don't think so.
She just said dog. She didn't say the name of the dog.
I didn't know she had more than one dog, or because I
You
know
didn't? We should know.
Oh, she has two little dogs, doesn't she?
Yeah, the 5 of them.
Oh, 5 of them. Oh my gosh. No.
Mm-hmm. Delicious, Carol. Delicious.
Yesterday we had another dog here.
Yes, I was here. Victoria's dog.
Yeah.
Was Victoria able to solve the? She
did. It was so funny. She was as frustrated as I was because she tried for like an hour. She goes, Glendora, I think we should send this back. Do you have the box? And Glendora says no. She goes, okay. She just starts unplugging things and then she goes, okay, let's start it up again. And it started up.
Oh. So.
She goes, well, if we don't have the box, we won't take it back. Let's try again. And it just worked. It's something with the Wi-Fi. It just clicked in.
Mm-hmm.
She got lucky. It happened to work when she started all over again.
Yeah. Well.
Well, no, the 2 of you did it together. You pressed one button after another.
Oh yeah, we did, but it wasn't working. And then she got frustrated, as I was frustrated, and she said, remember Glendora? She said, I think you should take this back. And she said, do you have the box? And we said, no, we don't have the box. And so she said, okay, she started putting it back to pieces, hooking the stuff back up again. And it worked.
1:00 p.m.
And it started to work,
Yeah.
Patty. It started to work.
Oh, good.
She deserves so much credit because she really persevered.
She goes, I don't understand why you can only use it with wireless. We said, the same thing.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Give her credit.
She did a good job.
Perseverance.
But we won't be seeing the friends at the library that much anymore.
I guess not.
Yeah.
That's if the Wi-Fi stays the way it should.
I thought that was so hometown, to walk to the library and have the lovely librarians help you and then walk home.
It was a breezy walk yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
Because we went later because we were fooling around with the printer. That road is very busy between 5 and 5:30.
It is. Sometimes it's like really like rush hour.
Yeah. I was like, well, I'm coming earlier next time.
And you have to cross. Yeah.
Yeah.
The library has been working for many years to get a crosswalk between the town hall and the library.
Mhm.
And they just.
Well, they don't even have a crosswalk if you want to walk across. They have the crosswalk. You have to take the long way around across the
Yes,
street.
you
You
do.
have to make like a square.
You do. It just doesn't make sense. With the village, most of the things that go on in the village are on a highway.
Yeah.
It just.
And they are. One of the biggest in the United States. Route 20, from Boston to Seattle, Boston to Oregon.
Because there was a dad and a dad and his son. They must have went someplace to play basketball, like at the school or someplace, and they were trying to cross the street. And I was like, oh, don't bounce that ball. Stop bouncing that ball. Because he was like, I'm like, if that rolls in the street, he's going to run after it.
You're right.
No more laughing, no more fun. Vegetarian meeting has begun. Let's see, we have to. let's say a little prayer. Thank you, God, for the progress that has been made in veganism in this year of 2051. 2000,
2021?
yeah, 2021. You got a little prayer, Carol?
I don't know. Let me think.
I think that's an appropriate prayer for a vegan meal.
Okay. And what was yours, Pat?
I just take a broader view and say, what I be thankful for. I think thankful for all the people that are trying to be open-minded in the world, because it's a time of so much divisiveness.
Yes, it is.
And a lot of people just don't, they just want to be closed, and so I appreciate the people that don't.
That's a good one. Food is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope Gina's knee gets better. I hope.
Very good.
Did she trip and fall?
Mm-hmm.
My.
She tripped and fell. And she couldn't get up. Her son had to help her up.
Oh my goodness. Did she have like X-rays and she didn't like break or anything or?
She didn't say anything this morning, and yesterday when she called, you could tell by her voice that
Yeah, she's
she was
just
in
not
pain.
well.
Yeah.
She wasn't.
She is just not well, honey.
When I fell on my knee, I cracked my knee, I fractured my kneecap,
Ooh.
and it was very painful for a long time, and they couldn't do anything with it. I could wear a brace, which would immobilize it to a certain extent, but there's nothing you can do. I mean, if you have a bad break, you might have to have a knee replaced, but mine wasn't at that point. But fortunately, someone was with me and helped me up.
That's good.
For all the saints who through their something, for all the saints. Does anybody know? Let there be peace. Let there be peace.
Let there be
on
peace
earth,
on earth, and
and
let
let
it
it begin with me.
Mm-hmm.
Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our Father. Brothers all are we. Let me,
Walk with my brothers.
yes, in
Peace.
simple harmony. Let there be peace let peace on earth begin with me. Let this be my solemn vow. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To live in peace and harmony. What comes next, Pat?
No. I thought it was to live each moment and something each moment. I
To
don't know.
live each moment in something each moment.
I only know fragments. I recognize the song, but I only know fragments.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Well, since you had
Oh,
so
no.
many hot dogs, I will have another hot dog.
I'm having another hot dog too.
I don't. That's all. I don't have a lot of room, but I can have room for another hot dog.
I haven't had brown bread in
I
I don't think in 30 years.
Oh, I haven't either. My mother made it. Since I left home many years ago, I haven't had brown bread.
My father used to eat it.
Yeah, I can remember my mother saving cans, and she made it in cans, and
Mm-hmm.
it was good. I don't know if it's a German thing. My mother-
Probably because my grandparents were
My mother-
Austrian.
Uh-huh.
Probably
Maybe.
something like that.
So our German heritage was brown bread, German potato salad. I guess we ate sausages, of some kind or other.
Oh yeah, we used to live Wiener Schnitzel.
Wiener Schnitzel.
We used to have to go to New York City. My father would go down to New York City to see a play or something, and we'd have to go to this one German place that had Wiener Schnitzel.
Oh.
And my aunt married a Ukrainian man, so we used to have all different. We used to have little Christmas and celebrate with all the Ukrainian food and everything in January. It was fun. And then when I started dating my husband, he used to go with us, and he worked for a Jewish man, and we're at one of the son's bar mitzvahs or one of them. And my husband goes, "Hey, look, this is all that Polish food that we had at your aunt's."
My mother-in-law made Jewish food like matzahs and latkes and a lot of things like that.
Yeah, that's what we used to do when we went to my aunt's house. She used to cook all the traditional meals. And then when my son was studying abroad, we got to go to Austria.
Oh wow, that must have been something.
It was nice.
We gather together to ask the Lord's blessing. He hastens and chastens his will to make known. The wicked oppressing now cease from distressing. Sing praises to his name. He forgets not his own. I would say that the total spent, Pat and Carol, on the Glendora Vegetarian Club is $14,000. And that would be from the year 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it spent on? Donations to great big animal groups who really spend thousands improving the lot of the animals. Taking people to vegan lunches and buying vegan dinners for the vegetarian club.
Does it include the vegan commercials?
Oh, no, but that's a good question. No, so that would be the non-commercials. The commercials is about $70,000 separately. And the latest victory is that the trust is, tell them, won't you, Carol, what the trust is going to
The
do?
trust is approved for the to send the money to Channel 6 for the commercial starting in the first week of January.
Wow.
And so then if she wants to lessen, not have that excess on the trust, she just has to resubmit another invoice for February or March.
For the commercials.
Yeah. I personally was surprised
That they did that? That they approved that?
Well, I was surprised they didn't make one invoice we sent. We didn't have to jump through hoops like with Darlene and 3 different
Yeah, that is
iterations
great.
of the lease. I think Joe must have been in a really good mood that day because he approved both of them on the same day.
Oh, you did tell her about Pat, about Pat's lease that we wrote? Did you tell her that Joe approved that?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did hear that he approved it.
Isn't
I'll
that
just
something,
have to wait for
Pat?
Darlene to sign
Oh,
it
that's
when
right.
she
She
returns.
has to sign. I'll give her till, I called her on the 18th or 19th, so I will give her till the end of next week and see if she's back.
Yeah, or even longer. And just tell her that it's in, that I'll sign it, and if she would sign it, and then we'll send it to the trust. And it will go out automatically every month, right, Gina?
Once the first one goes through, yep,
It'll go out, yeah, okay.
we can arrange for that. But
And progress on the Glendora Vegetarian Club. The big progress is that all over the country, vegetarianism, veganism is grown by leaps and bounds. In the stores and in the restaurants. That's the big news there. Can you think of anything else?
Related to veganism?
Yeah, about veganism. This is a report on veganism.
I know that the new business in town, the tacos place,
Uh-huh.
they do have a burrito that is all vegetables.
They
Oh,
do?
That's It's got the usual vegetables.
Really?
Well, it's got beans, black
Yeah.
beans, and then onions.
Ooh,
but it
that's
also
good.
has 2 kinds of squash.
Ah.
That's the other vegetable. And now when the squash season is over, maybe
Oh,
maybe
seasonal.
it'll be summer squash because
Yeah.
black beans and either sweet potatoes or winter squash really go well together.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll do that. I don't know.
Well, that's a very good report, Pat.
I don't know if they would call it vegan, because maybe there's cheese added to it. I don't know.
Right.
But you could, if you ordered it, you could probably say you wanted that without cheese.
That's right, no cheese.
Well, that's like when you made the beans and rice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my son-in-law is half Puerto Rican. I automatically thought you were making his, just because my mind, beans and rice. And I was like, no, I ate that for 5 years, every other day. I think I'll pass. And then it was more like Chinese vegetables.
Well, yeah, it was, the beans were our green beans
Right,
from our
well-
garden.
And I'm like, oh, your mind just went to the most common thing
Yeah.
you've eaten.
Now, last night I made something that really came out well. We have a lot of potatoes, white potatoes.
Yeah, you do.
So I took a few white potatoes and carrots. Our carrots are gone. We didn't get many of those, but the store-bought carrots. And I cut them into, chunks. And the recipe called to toss them with balsamic vinegar and melted butter.
Oh,
Wow.
that sounds good.
And salt and pepper and a little garlic to taste. I used a little garlic powder, and you toss it all together. Oh, you put some thyme in it, sprigs of thyme, which I still have in the garden and hasn't frozen.
Really?
So I put that all in the oven with you cover it with foil, and you put it in a hot oven, and within 40 minutes it's done. And it was really
Oh, I bet it
the
was.
flavors blended well. It was
Yeah.
good. So
Oh, I bet it was. 40 minutes the potatoes were done and the
well, the
carrots?
potatoes were cut into bite-sized pieces, so they cooked pretty fast. And in a hot oven with it covered like that, it cooked pretty fast.
Well, that's a very good contribution to our meeting, a vegetarian
Yeah,
restaurant.
that's a good
Vegetarian.
way to use vegetables.
Well, that's very good.
a good way to use up potatoes too.
Mm-hmm.
We have a
So
lot of
Carol,
potatoes.
tell the people what you made for our 80th. This is we're celebrating 80 telephone calls, Pat, from the year 2003.
Okay.
80,000.
80,000, yes. I thought it was
And this would be all out calls, no in calls. Carol, tell people what you made for our vegan lunch.
Oh, you mean the bananas?
No, what we made today, what you made today.
Oh, well, we made the vegan hot dogs, the vegan coleslaw with pineapple and grapes, and we made baked beans and brown bread.
And the coleslaw had bananas and grapes in it. No,
Pineapple.
pineapple, yeah. It was nice. It was good. Are these Morningstar hot dogs?
no, they are not.
Oh, I thought I was going to finally get to taste. Oh, yeah.
Would you like another one, hon?
No, I had two. That's my limit.
Do you want to take home any of this to Ben? And
I could take a little bowl.
Oh, yeah.
can't you take a big lot and feed him a good big lunch, honey?
I'll try.
Do we have enough dishes, son?
I'm sure we can find something.
Sure, give him a nice, great big lunch, okay?
Okay.
So, how far do you think Cliff will get on your driveway that's been rutted out?
He was almost finished when he worked yesterday, and I thought he was finished. And then about 10 minutes to 12, I hear this machine out there, and he was back, and he had this big chain on his machine, and he was going up and down the driveway.
Oh, smoothing it.
Yes, and so he came up this last time, and I ran out there and I said, "Can I go down before you black it off again?" So I did.
You made it just
He
in
said
time.
he was almost finished anyway, so it was pretty reasonable. We got a big load of, I don't know what you would call it. It's not real fine rocks. It's not real coarse either. It's somewhere in between, and it was only $250, I think.
Oh, that's a lot.
But our driveway's 900 feet long, and so we needed a lot of it. And Cliff's suggestion is that we rent a roller, a machine that can really pack it down. So I think that's what we need to do, because that's what the McLeans did. Sandy and her husband, they had somebody do their driveway, and the final thing was really packing it down. And
Oh.
since that was done, we've had a couple of hard rains, and their driveway looks
Oh, good.
just fine. So
Hey, my husband's family used to live on a dirt road.
mhm.
And they used to, practically after every winter, they would have to have somebody come in and
yeah.
replace it and smooth it out.
Did it get ruts in the March? Our road is now has some blacktop on it, but when we first were living out there in March, I always thought of it as March because the ground was thawing, plus it was raining and snowing, and there were ruts 6 inches deep at least, and people would be stuck in the road. They couldn't move. So
Well, my husband's grandfather lived at the beginning of the road, and then there were 3 houses of his children.